Coach Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. Just what you could say from your takeaways from last season with the team. I know taking this job was something very important to you, that you were very excited about kind of celebrating that moment. As you step into year two, just what's gone through your head from year one?
Well, I think year two, myself, a lot more confident in our football team and our coaches and administration and everything. It's just year two, you know a lot more. You know, you go through year one and it's a learning experience throughout the whole thing, and now going into year two, you're familiar with everything, and our players are more comfortable with us. We're more comfortable with our players, and things just seem to be much smoother. And I think a lot of it is just everybody understanding what we're trying to get out of it now, and knowing we have to do the right things in order to correct what we did wrong.
Coach, left side, third row.
Bob Holliday, WRL.com. Coach, your offense is called the Gulf Coast offense. When executed correctly, what is it designed to do? And secondly, what areas do you expect to see improvement in this year?
Well, when executed correctly, it's designed to score, and score fast, and create a lot of explosive plays. And I think going into last year, and it's been the first year in a new offense for a lot of guys that didn't come there to necessarily play spread offense. In the spread offense, it was a lot of learning lesson, and it was a lot of learning lesson for a lot of people. And we had our mistakes. We made some big mistakes that you just can't make. And this off season, I felt our coaches did a great job of teaching our players and making them understand what it takes to be successful on offense. And I could tell you this: year two, guys are comfortable and understand exactly what we're doing, and I'm pretty sure you're going to see a tremendous improvement in our offense and in the execution and the consistency when it comes to executing.
Coach, right side, second row.
Chantel Powell, the Orlando Sentinel. Coach, you said everyone's, kind of more comfortable in the system now. What are you looking for y'all's identity to really be this season?
I want us to be an aggressive football team, offensively, defensively, and special team, and see a football team that's fast in every aspect and explosive on both sides of the ball. And you do that by knowing what you're doing and being comfortable with what you're doing, and you do it by executing. And I thought our players have done a great job this offseason of working amongst themselves to make sure that they go out and execute at a high level. And so our identity is to be aggressive, to be explosive, and to have fun and win.
Coach, just to your left here, just over my shoulder, first row.
Hi, Mark Narducci, the Philadelphia Inquirer. You have graduate transfer Alex Hornibrook coming in. Could you talk about how he factors in and fitting in a quarterback, a tough position with just 1 year of eligibility?
Well, Alex, I think one thing Alex brings to our football team is experience, and not just experience playing football, but experience playing in big bowl games too, and games that he played in and won. And you can't overlook that from an experience standpoint at that position. And one thing I've been really impressed with Alex is he's come to our football program, and it seemed like he's been there for years, just how he's been relating to his teammates. And it's almost every day I see him with someone different, and getting to know those guys, and just to hear his teammates talk about him says a lot about the work he's put in, building those relationships, understanding that was something he would need to do coming here with 1 year left. So being really impressed with the young man and how he's working, and more importantly, how he's fit with his teammates.
Coach, right side, third row.
Lawrence Davis, Spectacular Magazine. In which ways have recruiting improved since you've been on campus?
Which ways has it improved? When you say improved, from what?
From aspects of you being a new coach at Florida State, and now you're 2 years in and you kind of have your feet down and you can now start to recruit like you want to.
Well, I think it's just recruiting the kind of individuals you want in your program, and we've had 2 recruiting classes where we've been able to get some guys in, and having a whole year here, you really understand your team and the guys you have and the guys that you need to go and get in order to build a program the way you want to, and I think our coaches are doing a good job of identifying and getting the guys that we like and we feel like can be a part of the culture that we want to build here. And these last 2 recruiting classes have been great. We've been able to get some very talented young men that really want to be here, and I think that's really important.
Coach, left side through the podium right here.
Yes, sir.
Lamont Thomas, Legacy Maker Sports. Coach, to piggyback off that question on the offense earlier, new offensive coordinator Kendall Browse, can you talk about what he brings to this offense and how he's going to contribute to what you expect?
Well, again, someone that's experienced in calling the offense and having great success with the offense is always beneficial, and just Kendall's personality, I think, fits our players, fits our team, and just his coaching style has been great for our guys, and getting them to understand what we're doing in a simple way, and getting them to execute at a high level and at a tempo that we want to run. So I thought it's been great since he's been here, and he's done a great job of bringing our offensive staff together and being on the same page and getting our players to understand what we're trying to do. And it's been great this offseason watching him work with our offense and getting those guys on the same page.
Let's go back to the right side, and Dan in the first row.
Coach, just what you could say about offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach Kendall Briles, just what you got from him in the spring and then heading into the fall, just his leadership and maybe his message and why he was the right fit for you.
Well, again, when making that change and bringing someone in here, I didn't want our players. It was new from the beginning. Them going from a pro style to a spread offense, and we didn't want a dramatic change. I thought our guys had learned some things throughout the season and only going to get better at things, and to bring someone in here that understood what we were trying to do and bring our football program, and someone who's done it at a high level, it just made so much sense. It was a guy that I went out and learned some ball when changing our offense at South Florida, and had an opportunity to hire him, and knew that he, a lot of things that I wanted with our program and how we teach our guys, he had a lot of it in himself, and it's paying off so far, and looking forward to training camp and seeing the work that our kids have put in this offseason to see how much we've gained from the spring.
Coach, look up the aisle about the 5th row to your left.
Coach, Wayne McGahee, Tallahassee Democrat.
What's up, Wayne?
How you doing, Coach? I just wanted to ask about Jordan Travis and the status of his eligibility waiver, and just what you thought of the process that went into that.
Well, I think that's the grad transfer, the waiver, or whatever it is. I mean, first of all, Jordan, the process still going, and again, you don't know how it's going to work out, but it's one of those deals. I mean, you see it around the country now. Some get waivers, some don't, but going in, we're going to go in the way we are. Jordan is part of our football team and a heck of a football player, and it'd be great to have him, but if we don't get him, it's going to be great to have him continue to develop and be ready to go next year, and for us to continue to get ready for this season.
Coach, in that same area, just one row up.
Yes, Coach. Doug Dowdy from the Roanoke Times in Virginia. How do you deal with last year's record? Do you serve as motivation, or do you totally put it behind you?
We put that behind us a long time ago. Long time we talk about it when we be asked about it, but we put it behind us, and it's 2019. I don't think it's fair to our 2019 team to continue to talk about 18's team. We put that behind us. We learned from our mistakes, the things that cost us to be the way that we were, and we've been working on it diligently since then to make sure we correct those things and don't do the same things that we've done before. So again, 18's behind us. That's part of our history, and we're going to keep it there and continue to focus on 19.
Coach, left side, all the way in the back, standing.
Aslan Hajavandi, warchant.com. Hey, Coach. The change with 3-4, what are you hoping that's going to correct that didn't work out for you guys last season, and how did that sort of implementation go over spring?
The who? The change with who?
To the 3-4 defense that you guys are seeming to implement, what are you hoping that's going to correct that didn't go right defensively last year?
Well, I don't think we're changing a lot from what we did last year. We worked on some things in the spring and seeing what was good for our team and how we can continue to get better and how we can continue to put our players in the best position to make plays. And I think going through the ACC this year and understanding our conference better, we're just finding ways to put our players in the best position to be successful on the defense side of the ball. I think you're still going to see our guys playing a even front, and I think you'll see Coach Barnett continue to find different ways to put pressure on the quarterback.
Stay on the left side, back to Bob Holliday here on the third row.
Coach, there was an eye-popping 18 punts returned for touchdowns last year. Florida State had 1. Seminoles have so much history in the punt return game. Can you get more of your share of punt return touchdowns this year and maybe use special teams to help energize this coming season?
We have to. We have to be much better overall as a team, but special team in particularly, we should be better. We have the talent, and we got to be to the point where our special team gives us a touchdown advantage on our opponents. And there's no reason for us not to be that way. And we got to coach better, we got to play better, and then execute better while we're out there. But the answer to your question, of course, we should be.
To your left, Coach, first row here in the blue shirt.
Coach, Rick Saratella, NFL Draft Bible here. Could you just talk about what makes Tamorian and Marvin such special and unique players, please? Thank you.
Well, both of them are great young men, and they love the game of football. And whenever you put a football out there and blow a whistle, those guys are ready to compete and ready to dominate the person in front of them. And I think that's what set them apart from everyone else is that way every time they line up to play the game. And they both are very unselfish individuals, and that plays a huge factor in their success. It plays a huge factor in their teammates playing the way they do for those guys. But they're tremendous athletes. They're tremendous individuals, and they love to play the game of football. And when you have those things in order, it's hard not to be successful.
Any other questions for Coach from the floor? Coach, a moment of levity here from the podium. We celebrate the 50th anniversary of the moon landing this Saturday. Do you have an interest in going to space or going to the moon?
No, I'm good in Tallahassee.
Coach Taggart, thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Florida State